It's probably pretty awkward for him. How's it going?
Not bad.
Good.
Yeah. Super excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
Really
Well,
fun.
everybody, it's me, Eric. To my gamer friends, it's Devin Donder, and to all those out there that are interested in tonight's topic, it's Gumball Head. It's our first dual cast. We are actually dual casting personal webpage or Facebook Live and Gumball Head Live. And to my left is my cousin and good friend Vinnie Brigance of Kalamazoo Hypnosis.
That's right.
So glad you're here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see anybody on the live yet. Someone is. Oh, okay. Can you give me a thumbs up on good sound? Because we're sharing a microphone tonight. Get a thumbs up on good sound, somebody. You don't have to. It's cool. And there's about a 15-second delay. So.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Cool.
So tonight's broadcast is actually Hypnosis, Meditation, and Stillness. Oh my. And I got Vincent here. Vinny, what do you go by?
I go by everything. Yeah.
So
a lot of people call me Vinny. A lot of people call me Vincent. So, yeah, kind of all that stuff. Can't go wrong.
So we had a quick. All right, we got a thumbs up.
There we go.
We had a quick jam session before and kind of talked about what we were going to talk about tonight. And I think there was kind of a conglomerate of, oh shit, we got to do something special. And we don't really know what's going on. Right. But I've been saying that all week long that we don't really know how it's going to go.
Yeah, you don't have to though. But just jump in there and I think we'll bring some value to the viewers for sure.
It's kind of one of those things where you just kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
So hi. Everybody's there talking here. Everybody's going around. Okay, good sound. All right, great. So we all know here, well, not everybody here, but a lot of people here know what Gumball Head is.
Right.
And Gumball Head is basically, it started to knock the stigma out of addiction and recovery.
I like that.
And kind of help people understand from the normal side and the non-addict side what an addict's brain works like, and then from the addict's brain to what a normal person sees when it comes to recovery.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of a two-sided thing. So when I jabberjaw on my broadcast weekly, I'm trying to explain to people from an addict's point of view what it's like to be inside an addict's brain, so normal people, non-addicts, can understand.
Great.
Also, in addition to that, we also bring awareness to a lot of people that don't feel as if they have addictions.
Right.
And bring that to the forefront to where they can actually identify a little bit easier with people with substance or process addiction.
Got it.
So, but we're curious. What is this hypnosis business?
What is this hypnosis business? Great question. Yeah. So, if you ask 1,000 hypnotists what their definition of hypnosis is, they're going to give you, you're going to have diverse responses from all of them, right? We all come up with our own personal thing. It's literally that varied. And now there's a bunch of technological advancements. We have these really cool scientific instruments now where we can measure brain waves and things like that. So we can see brain alterations occurring. But I like to think about it more along the lines as a process, a communication flow between the subject and the hypnotist. So it's really something that's a naturally occurring phenomena that people can use to improve their lives rapidly. I think about it like a vehicle that rapidly accelerates change in people's lives, right? Because you're going right to the unconscious mind and you're installing things or you're removing things. And so it's like, a lot of times it's like that problem was never even there, know, but you get to keep all the learnings from those issues. So that's how I like to think about it. And of course, so in terms of does it work, right? That's another question people get a lot of times. We know there's, 1,200 peer-reviewed studies demonstrating the efficacy of hypnosis on a variety of topics, from smoking cessation, weight control, to just allergies. People have been able to demonstrate that they can get rid of allergies using hypnosis. So it's just bizarre, right? And we're tapping more and more into that. But if you were to twist my arm and say, what is hypnosis? I try to lead more on the process of the thing itself. It's something that we do. I learned that from Mike Mandel. One of my little heroes in the industry, and he refers to it as a psychodynamic loop, and it's something that people engage in. I think that's probably the safest, most accurate description I've come across so far.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So we were talking too about before here the some differences between meditation and hypnosis, and I think you and I kind of came to an agreement that they work similarly.
I think so.
But
yeah,
meditation is more broad, and
Yeah.
hypnosis is more linear.
yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
But then we kind of came to a conclusion of the fact that us who meditate, those who meditate on a regular basis, when we sit down, we have an intention to meditate, and we typically meditate on a particular topic, or we sit with a topic or sit with a situation. So if we are meditating, what do you think? Do you think we're self-hypnotizing in a way?
Well, so I can't remember who said it. It's really prominent in the field. And if you study hypnosis for any length of time, you'll come across this saying that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, right? Even if you've got someone acting like a chicken on stage, the old cliches and sort of the mythology around that, like mind control, that person is not going to behave like a chicken unless they want to.
Sure.
You can try really hard. And there's some stuff, if you look at like Esther Brooks, like maybe there was some, like if you guys really get bored tonight and you want to Google like MK Ultra and George Esther Brooks, you can look up some funky stuff that, is kind of on the fringe of the field. But it appears to be the case that it's all self-hypnosis anyway. So I think you probably are engaging in very similar phenomena. It's hard to say though, right? I think that I like to think of hypnosis, as you suggested, it's a little bit more targeted. It's a little bit more linear. I want to accomplish a specific result.
Excuse me.
And I think of meditation more along the lines of wellness. I'm a little bit ignorant on the subject though, like general wellness with meditation.
Sure.
Because you were teaching me that you actually set your attention before you meditate to create results yourself. So I wasn't actually aware of that. The stuff that I learned was more just about sort of pulling back and observing and relaxing. It wasn't so much geared towards creating change, I guess is what I would say.
And you can definitely do a broader spectrum meditation.
Right.
A majority of people who are new to meditation that are doing, like guided meditations on YouTube or on any of the apps, they're going to get a breathing meditation.
Yeah.
It's going to teach you how to breathe in order to clear your subconscious mind. They're going to get a forgiveness meditation, and they're going to ask themselves for forgiveness. They're going to ask others for forgiveness.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So when you become new, or when you are new to meditation, I think a lot of people, there are two different types of people that come new into the meditation. People that are high on the expectation of, I'm going to see fucking Technicolor and everything's going to be beautiful. And realistically speaking, it has happened to me unintentionally. On a campsite. But then there's other people that are like, okay, well, I'm going to meditate tonight and then everything's going to be great tomorrow.
Right.
So I think meditation is more of a mindset.
I like that.
And when you said that you add and you remove data from inside the brain,
right.
You're tapping into that supercomputer of our personal lives. Wow, that's some powerful stuff.
Yeah.
In meditation, there's a lot of observation. So when you sit in a meditation, the idea may be to contemplate things, but more of an idea to understand things, or more to put yourself in a comfortable position. So when one of the biggest things that I like, about meditation is the fact that I can take an extremely complicated situation and sit down for 10, 12 minutes and just kind of shut everything off for me, and then come back. And when I come back to my surroundings, it's a little bit easier to manage.
Right.
Problem hasn't gone away, hasn't changed any.
Right.
But I'm able to deal with that a little bit more. So I say this a lot, especially in our recovery meetings and a lot of times in our broadcast too. When we're children and our parents tell us, stop, count to 10. What we don't realize is that is actually a meditative technique.
Yeah. Yeah.
60-second meditation is actually probably one of the coolest things that you can do throughout the day. So when you start feeling that stress.
Yeah.
I told a story a few weeks ago in one of our meetings. In Tibet or in some other countries, bells go off every 15 minutes. It's a mindfulness bell.
That's cool.
And that's why those stores in those countries don't have bells on the doors when you walk in, because could you imagine? That's like
Just kind of
meditative seizure.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's interesting.
but yeah, and so in two, I like to look at that in our everyday life too. Grandfather clocks, they ding every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So if we actually look deep into the underlying idea behind what those bells are,
Right.
if we take 15-minute intervals to take just a few seconds to be mindful and thankful for
like
everything that we have in our lives, you can turn that frown upside down.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that reminds me of something I learned from Freddie Jocquin. He said, if you have a suggestion ready to go, right? Like, I don't know what it is you might want to feel. Maybe you want to feel more confident, or you could just pick something, right? And even if you get a negative emotion, you can give yourself the suggestion. So if someone says something to hurt your feelings, you could say, I'm immensely confident. Or for me, like if I want to be I'm a great hypnotist. So as soon as you say something that might hurt my feelings, I could come back at it with something just inside your head, right? And this actually creates new neural pathways. We know the repetition of affirmations and things like that. So as soon as you feel an emotion, you can connect a suggestion to it. It's a really cool thing. It kind of reminds me of that. So yeah, you hear a bell and you get mindful for a second.
It's much like you hear a bell when you start your meditate, or when you start your hypnosis, and you
Right.
hear a bell when you come out of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Funny.
Vinny and I had coffee a few weeks ago, and we had talked about some of these topics, and that was kind of the whole mindset behind why I wanted to get him on the screen with me today. Not only that, but it's a little something new. It's something, you know, we're here trying to promote Kalamazoo hypnosis, you know, and we're trying to get some more involvement in the community and broaden our horizons a little bit more. And with that, you know, I'm trying to draw some business up for him and get some insight and some other wellness opportunities for us out there, especially as addicts. So we're going to come into this next part here, and I'm going to talk to Vinny, or let Vinny talk to you about this. Why are we here? What? So when we talk about addiction, you know, majority of people think about gambling or alcohol or drugs, but there's an addiction that's abundant right now, and it's targeting 16 to 18 to now 21-year-old children. And that addiction is nicotine.
Yeah, sure.
So Kalamazoo Hypnosis, how many people are you hypnotizing?
Yeah, so the goal here is to help 1,000 people become non-smokers in the next 2 years. And
that's a lot of people.
There's a lot behind this, right? So let me do some math real quick. Sorry, I should have done this beforehand. So I'll actually share with you my grand vision here. So think the average cost of a pack of cigarettes in Michigan is $8, but around here it's closer to $6.50. That's what I've seen, right?
Sure. So
it's $6,500 that we could free up in the local economy daily. So we times that by 365. We're at $2,372,500, right? That we're going to free up.
That's one pack a day smokers time 1,000 people per day.
Yeah, for a year. Now, you know, I think the average smoker is around 35 right now still. So we could free up over the next 30 years, $71 million in revenue for Kalamazoo. So now that money can go to, you know, imagine what that could do for people. And when my kids grow up and they want to maybe do business, or they want to do some kind of nonprofit work, and they want to get some donations. Well, now there's plenty of revenue to do it. People can, you know, take their lives back from the banks in some ways, right? They can own their homes. They can get rid of their credit card debt. So it's this idea of like, what can I do as an individual to help rapidly accelerate growth and prosperity in Kalamazoo? So that's the vision of the 1,000 non-smokers that we want to create in the next couple of years. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm excited though.
Wow. So it's $2 million in 2 years.
Yep. Yeah.
$71 million in 30 years.
30 years, right? Now, if that money went in the stock market at a 6% return, I'm not clever enough to do that math, but you know it would be insane, right? So the idea is like, what can we do, or what habits can we replace easily?
Right.
And imagine if you took that money and you're now saving it and you kill your credit card debt. Now you have even more funds available. And now that can snowball against your mortgage. And now it's like suddenly our whole lives. So I'm just trying to kind of elevate the entire city, the greater Kalamazoo area.
6.5%, that's like $51 billion.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough.
51.
I need a better calculator.
Okay, folks. So listen. So I have a friend who has quit smoking recently. I don't know how many days she's at, but it's quite a few. And I know that she's saving some money.
Yeah.
I know that she's saving some
Certainly.
money. And when I quit vaping, I started thinking about things. Like I would vape and I would get sick a few weeks later, and then I'd be fine for, you know, I'd get sick for a few days.
Right.
And then I'd vape again and I'd be sick for another couple of days. And when I was vaping, it was like, all right, I'm done with this. And I'd throw my $80 equipment down and just be like, I'm done with it. I'm not doing it anymore. Then a few weeks later, I go and buy another $80 worth of vaping supplies and juice and cartridges and batteries and shit like that. And then I'd be right back at it. So it was very cyclical.
Yeah.
So not only that, but smoking and alcohol go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Smoking and marijuana often go hand in hand. And smoking and gambling go hand in hand. So with hypnosis, do you think that that's going to affect those other industries as well? If they were to stop smoking, is that going to affect the alcohol industry, or the marijuana industry, or the gambling industry?
Those are great questions. I can tell you, I've worked with people who, there's this strange generative effect in hypnosis where maybe someone comes in and who knows, maybe they get a promotion and they need to feel more confident stepping into a leadership role, right? You might do something like on that spectrum. And they do a couple sessions with you and suddenly they just report that they're better parents. That it's just seemingly unrelated, right? Or maybe they stop some habit or they lose a bunch of weight. And it's like when you change one little area in your life, it's almost like it opens the door for possibility in other areas of your life. Things that seemed so fixed and rigid and habitual suddenly become pliable, right? And it's the strangest phenomena. I love it, right? But yeah, you can definitely make an impact with things like that. I mean, if you create 1,000 non-smokers, who knows where that's going to wind up in terms of like overall wellness, like net wellness gain, especially over a 30-year period.
Wow.
So,
well, guys, I think that Vinnie unbeknowingly is learned a lot more about addiction overall by that statement right there alone. And the fact that you can change one aspect of your life and completely change another aspect. And what I'm saying there is he said that he did a hypnosis and people report that they are better parents.
Yeah, sure.
And so they quit smoking and they become better parents. Now it seems weird to me that that's a possibility, but it does work,
right?
And it doesn't can you, with the stop smoking, can you stop gambling? Can you stop? Will it help in any other forms of, because addiction is addiction,
right?
To an extent,
right?
Okay, and substance and process addictions are very, very, very similar as far as the releases of chemicals in the brain and in the processes. Masturbation is far different than. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable there. But masturbation is far different than smoking on a joint. But realistically, it's still self gratification.
Yeah, you're with all those different categories of activity, right? You're still filling human needs, right? Maybe it's a need for certainty, a need for significance, a need for comfort. You might be connecting with yourself. You go, okay, well, how could smoking cause me to connect with myself? Well, you're alone for a moment. Maybe you've had a stressful day and you're just kind of going back to that ritual, or I guess you can imagine what that would be like for masturbation. But gambling, the same thing, or maybe you're connecting yourself in a terrible way. Maybe it's the sadness, maybe it's the despair, or the sense of, I'm blanking on the word, not vulnerability, the shame, right? Maybe if you're ashamed of it, it gives you a second to kind of reflect on yourself and you actually get to connect for a moment. So a lot of times people wind up using these addictions to fill those needs just in ways that aren't very productive for their life, right? Sure. There's better ways that you could meet those needs that are going to create a lot more value for you, for your family, for your community. So you can grow and contribute even more, right? So that's the type of thing, that's how I look at it,
Sure.
So can hypnosis help with all those things? Yeah. It can. Hypnosis and addiction I know most about smoking because that's my focus.
Sure.
And you see the 90% success rates or 80% success rates consistently in reviewed studies. But there's plenty of people in my network that have done some outrageous work with addiction, much harder substances. And they've had just tremendous success with it. So
we all like success, regardless. And Vincent is successful, and it's great because how long have you lived in this neighborhood?
Gosh, maybe 2-3 years. I'm so bad at time. Probably 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
I guess.
So I've been in this neighborhood 15 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that he even lived here until I saw him walking with his babies one day. I'm like,
what's that?
Well, I know that guy.
Yeah.
So it was actually a pretty great situation. And
Yeah.
And we've connected, and we've hung out a few times, and it's been great. And we've both been super fired up this week about it. Let's see here. Looking at the list, how many of you guys on there are smokers? Don't be ashamed. Just put your name in there. Hey, look, there's a name on there.
Hey.
So listen, guys. So we're gonna come to that point now. So if anyone wants to help a little bit, and
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
what do you got? What do you got for the viewers of Gumball Head?
A giveaway. We'll do a hypnosis session with somebody who tunes in or comments. Or I don't know how you want to structure the process of it. I don't have anything in mind, but if you just want to pick somebody,
Okay.
I don't know if you want to do it random and draw or.
Usually I do random.
Later.
I use what is it, MailChimp, and I use a
Oh,
name generator.
Cool.
So all right, guys. So we all know how this goes. Usually I say, hey, shoot me an email. I'll put you in for the drawing. But no, we're not going to do that. If you are interested in a therapy session, 1 hour.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, 1.5. I usually book them for 2.
Okay.
But typically the work gets done much faster.
Now, do you prefer that they come to you? You come to them? Do it over the internet?
We
How
go
do
to
you
the
want
office usually. Sometimes I do stuff over Zoom, but we have a office at the Unwindings.
Yep.
You're familiar with that location
We
since
are.
you
We're very.
taught me about it.
So Vinnie has set up shop at Unwindings 5466 Holiday Terrace over in Kalamazoo, and he is that is headquarters for Kalamazoo Hypnosis.
Yeah, that's the new headquarters. That's right.
Also, wow, excuse me, guys. I'm really sorry. Boy, that's very unprofessional of me, but I'm not very professional usually. Anyways,
take a swig.
I'm just behaving tonight because Vinny's here. But realistically speaking, yeah, over at Unwindings, he will do a hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depends on your need. So you guys know the drill. Shoot me an email, gumballheadkazoo@gmail.com, and let me know if you're interested in it, and preferably smokers.
No, I don't care. Yeah, we can work.
It could be anything.
Yeah, sure. Come on in.
Okay.
I was just gonna do self-hypnosis, but I think might as well just open it up if someone has another issue they want to tackle.
Okay.
Let's get them in.
Self-hypnosis.
Yeah.
What is that?
Hey, that's when you go into self-hypnosis. Terrible definition. No, it's just I think it's worth learning. So basically, anybody that comes into my office for any reason, one of the things I teach them is self-hypnosis, right? So they'll come in for who knows what, right? And it's just something you could take with you. And the more you practice it, the more powerful it becomes. A lot of times I'll actually install it when the person's in trance. So I'll actually teach them how to do it when they're in a trance state. And then they'll come out and we'll have them practice it for a while. And it's like, let's say, hey, you're not feeling particularly well one day. Maybe you've got a big presentation. You don't feel like you have the gusto you need. Well, you can go into, you can set a time. And I always tell people when they're getting used to it to actually put an alarm in, right, for 5 minutes and say, I'm going to go into hypnosis for 4 minutes, 32 seconds. And your unconscious mind is so powerful. You'll be shocked at how accurate this is when you come out and you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, it's been about 4 minutes, 33 seconds, 4 minutes, 32 seconds. And just install the resource you need, right? And sometimes you don't even know what the resource is. You can allow your unconscious mind to decide what that is for you. So that's even content for you. So
you can achieve the teachings of that in an hour and a half session.
Oh yeah. And it's just something you practice. Make it a routine. Do it once a day. If you're doing 5 or 10 minutes, typically people have time for that. If it's, I'm not asking them to do something for an hour. Sure. And really, be kind of conked out. So I think it's one of the most transformative things I've had in my life. That's why I'm passionate about teaching that to people. But hey, if someone wants to lose weight or if they want to stop smoking, have them come in. We'll do it.
You heard that, guys. It's we give away a lot of monetary things here. We give away shirts, we give away tank tops, we give away stickers, we give away anything that someone's willing to give us. We give it away.
I like that.
Teg Yenham, friend of mine, Brian, created these shirts. This is Teg Yenham brand. Everybody's seen these. Life Over Addiction.
Yeah.
We've seen the demons behind me. I push them very hard. They're the demons behind me is it's interesting because it's two guys that wanted to start a clothing line, and then it's the guitar player from Puddle of Mud.
Oh, really?
So
I had no idea.
So, and they created this clothing line, but this clothing line is much more than a clothing line. It's got a story behind it. And that story is the demons behind them. And what it is a good motivator. And their website, I'm not trying to plug them. I plug them all the time.
Yeah.
But they are a fantastic group of guys.
No, that sounds really fantastic.
Jim's amazing. He's worked very well with Gumball Head. They did a donation back in January. They gave us a $25 gift card to their website.
Wow. Yeah.
Vinnie's generosity
That's
tonight,
awesome.
an hour and a half session. And the person that won that gift card actually turned around and purchased product and donated it back to Gumball Head.
That's nice.
In which we in turn gave away.
That's so cool.
Dick's Sporting Goods gave us a $25 gift card or $20 gift card.
Got it.
That we gave away. So we're not in the business to give stuff away, but there is value in not only watching these broadcasts,
I think so.
but there's also back end value when you get free shit too.
Right. Yeah.
So
huge.
So
that's huge.
Yeah. So let's see here. Joe, hey, how's it going, Joe? And everybody else in here. There's a lot of people watching tonight. That's pretty good. Sorry we're late, but I'm not sorry because we had to set up and hey, look over here. I can't say his name, but it's Budagama. Badia?
Yeah.
All right. I hope all is going well in your return to Chicago. I'm glad that you're back in the States. You're a beautiful human being. You are fantastic. He's very large in the Buddhist community.
Oh, cool.
Over in Chicago. And it was weird because his name popped up one day and I was like, I know this guy somehow.
That's neat when that starts happening.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I actually got recognized the other day. I think it was in, let's see here. Was it a Big B drive-thru? And the girl said, hey, you're Gumball Head. And I was just kind of like, does that make me a celebrity?
So cool. Yeah.
Does that make me a celebrity? I don't know. But 217 followers on the Facebook page.
Oh, good.
We're averaging anywhere from 300 to 700 views per week on our webpage. I haven't posted our content in a while to the webpage, and it shows because it's like I look at the metrics.
Yeah, those are amazing.
It's like they're really high, and then all of a sudden I don't post anything for a while, and it's like a week goes by and nobody's watching. Yeah. So that just goes to show like the WordPress community how involved they are.
Yeah, that's great.
And so, and you've got a Facebook page, right?
Yeah, Kalamazoo Hypnosis.
Hypnosis. If you guys want to learn more about that, or you know what, jump over there, give them a like.
Yeah.
Let them know you saw them on the Gumball Head show.
I like that.
Broadcasting from the Buddha Den. I did say that we were going to be broadcasting from Unwindings tonight, but things changed and we didn't. So there's that.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. And then just if you have any questions or if there's something we didn't cover that you want to learn more about, you can shoot me a messenger there. Or you can always have my business Gmail account up there too. So don't be afraid. People have questions about this stuff. It's there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of myths. I don't seem to be encountering too much resistance around here, which is great. It just seems like there's a lot of people hungry in the Kalamazoo area to create change. They want more, right? Mm-hmm. They want to improve their lives in different ways. So it's been just fantastic. I had a vision of coming back here from Boston and creating this thing, and it's incredible to see it start to actually become real.
That's good.
And like you said, you come across your people that in the industry, and it's just shocking that they become aware of your work and they start to support you too. And so more than happy. Feel free to ask any questions you have, or if you want to shoot if that's okay with you. If they want to
throw the comments on here, they're visible. They're visible at any time. If you do have a question and you're catching the replay, if you catch the replay, throw a comment in there. I get that immediately on my phone. That phone's connected to my hand at all times.
Right. Yeah.
So if I do get a comment that's geared towards Vinnie, I'll shoot it over to him, or you can visit his Facebook page.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
So we're gonna jump into another part of this. We've done a lot of talk about the hypnosis, and we've talked a little bit about meditation, and it's unique in the fact that sometimes in our recovery Dharma meetings, we don't even meditate. We just sit and talk. And a lot of people, some people understand what recovery Dharma is. And they know that it's a Buddhist approach to recovery from addictions of all kinds. Okay. They know the history of it. They know that it's brand new, it's grassroots, it's community run. And sometimes we do. That's cool. Sometimes we do not meditate and we just sit and talk.
Right.
And sometimes in those sessions, our sessions usually we give it an hour and a half for our meetings, but we've had meetings that have gone like 3 hours long.
Sure.
And it's just three people in there talking.
Yeah.
So it's just the power of conversation, you know. And I've been to a lot of AA meetings in my time. And when I sit in those AA meetings, you know, as soon as you sit down, you start watching that clock. And some of the best AA meetings I've ever been to, there's no clock in there.
Sure.
You know, and if you pull your phone out, they will rip your head off.
Oh yeah.
There's one that I like that I go to. It's in Matawan.
Right.
And again, you know, I'll promote AA because I'm a member. So, but nobody has a phone out because everybody's engaged, and it's a fantastic meeting. So, but what the worst thing about it is there are AA and NA meetings in the area, and there's very few of the other A meetings, like Gamblers Anonymous. There's a couple of Readers Anonymous meetings per week and stuff like that. But the A's can I'm saying this cautiously, can become redundant.
Got it. Okay.
So over time, you know, you can go to 90 AA meetings in 90 days, but after those 90 days, you're pretty burnt out. That's cool. You start bringing in other things, and that's where Recovery Dharma came in, and that's where Refuge Recovery came in prior to Recovery Dharma.
That's nice.
Was just trying to intermingle some other options out there. Now I'm starting to explore more into acupuncture. And now hypnosis.
Cool.
I'm going to start looking into hypnosis a little more because this has really piqued my interest.
Yeah.
I actually read something the other day called porcupuncture.
Porcupuncture. What a cool title.
So acupuncture, they use acupuncture needles, and porcupuncture, they use porcupine needles.
Do they really?
And they're sterilized, individual use porcupine needles. And an acupuncture needle kind of looks like a blow dart. They're very fine, very small. Porcupine needles are not small; they are big.
Yeah.
So, and then
hook.
They're prehensile. They're like a weapon.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's fascinating.
And then there's also ink therapy.
Ink therapy.
Tattoos.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
And it's funny because I said that kind of as a joke.
Yeah.
But there's a truth to that.
I believe it, yeah.
Because some people, I'm saying this because it's tax time.
Okay.
It's the busiest season of the year for tattoo artists. I know that because I tried scheduling a tattoo and they're like, we're out till May.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you do realize who I am, right? And they're just like, we're booked till May. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, no, I didn't try pulling that fast one.
Yeah.
But the end of May, I've actually got my appointment scheduled. But that's neither here nor there. What it is if you think about it, right now people are receiving an abundance of money.
Yeah.
They're receiving money from the government and I don't talk politics.
Yeah.
I don't talk religion. And it's sometimes I do, but I'm very careful about what I say.
Yeah, I'm very cautious too.
But I read something the other day and it was on the internet, so it had to be true.
Yeah, of course.
that we're taxed on the money that we make. We receive that money in a paycheck. We go to the store and we buy products that we're taxed on again.
Yeah.
And then we buy gasoline and we're taxed on that. And we buy a car and we're heavily taxed, or a home and we're heavily taxed. And then at the end of the year, we're taxed on the money that we were taxed on initially that we're borrowing back from the government for the next year for them to borrow from us all year.
Yeah.
So I kind of was thinking about it and I was just like, maybe self-employment isn't so bad.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm telling you.
You and I talked a little bit about me doing my taxes today.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the tax code, according to my accountant friends, it's huge, right? Things an encyclopedia. 8 pages are what you have to pay. The rest is the stuff you don't have to pay. And you really can't take advantage of that stuff on a W-2. I'm not the most business savvy guy, but like that's good to know, right? Like there's a lot of stuff you can avoid some of that. And so I'm always very careful to touch on these subjects with people because I don't know where their values might be. And, you know, if someone wants my help, I don't need them to share any weird values or beliefs I have. I'm more interested in them anyway. Like I want to help that person.
Right.
So I need to learn about them. What beliefs they have. How can I use those to help them get the leverage they need to make change, right? But it kind of goes back to what you were saying about like ink therapy or maybe even like what was the other? Oh, acupuncture,
Acupuncture,
porcupuncture.
It's just
my
fun to
fave.
say.
That's my fave. That's good.
Um,
Oh, sorry.
no,
Oh,
go ahead.
yes. There's an old Brigham Young study. I want to say it's from the 90s that showed that. So we have all this peer-reviewed knowledge in hypnosis, right? People actually review the studies, and we know what methods are most effective to create change, the change people are looking for. And sometimes you run across, and this is something I got from Richard Nongard and Jason Lynette, fantastic in the hypnosis community. They have a really cool podcast. But these folks, so I lost my train of thought.
Watching me type.
Yeah, I totally got. I was like, don't get sucked in. Don't. Anyway, it'll come back. Yeah. So the Brigham Young study demonstrated that the most effective form of therapy or change work was dependent upon the person's relationship. So between the person that wants to make the change and the therapist or the hypnotist, I don't refer to myself as a therapist, as a hypnotist, right? And so you'll see it where folks will say, I only do this one method, and will know from peer-reviewed studies it's a terrible way to affect people. But they will have screaming, raving fans. People say, this person helped me change my life forever. I'm so thankful. I could never give them enough money. Like, the value they created in my life is incredible, right? And you'll see 5-star Yelp reviews and things like that. So it's more about the power of that relationship. So ink therapy, maybe there isn't anything per se in the ink. Maybe there is, but maybe it's just that incredible relationship you get with a tattoo artist or someone you start to trust, and maybe that in itself creates or whether it's a porcupine needle, I don't know. I wonder sometimes about that.
The studies show that the ink therapy is not so much the act of, like you said, there's nothing in the ink.
Right.
It's a communication with a stranger.
That's cool.
An intimate communication. We look at hairstylists the same way.
Yeah, that's true.
Where you have, and accountants, ironically enough.
Right.
I'm not going to walk into the grocery store and talk to the cashier about,
sure.
But you lay down on a tattoo table for 2 hours. You talk about everything.
Yeah.
You talk about music and what's the craziest body part you've tattooed, and we can all guess what the most crazy tattoo parts are.
Yeah.
But the truth behind it is it's not the tattoo, it's not the sound, it's the pain.
Yeah. Okay.
So the pain response is created inside the mind, which releases the serotonin.
Sure.
It releases, a lot of different chemicals in the brain that are similar to the release of opioids.
Wow.
Or similar to the release of barbiturates.
Wow.
And that chemical release inside the body is primarily based from endorphins.
Right.
So it's much like eating a really, really spicy pepper.
Yeah.
And it sucks, and it sucks right now, and it's gonna suck for 10 minutes, and then the pain goes away, and then you feel it again the next morning.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But then it's like, man, that was so hot, but man, it was so good.
Yeah.
Same thing with a tattoo, and those out there that don't have tattoos, when they ask me, did your tattoos hurt? I explain to them, you ever had a bee sting? Yes.
Yeah.
You ever had a sunburn? Yes. Okay. You ever had a bee sting on a sunburn? No. Well, that's what a tattoo feels like.
Wow. Yikes.
So, but let's see here. It's the good pain. You're absolutely right. It's
the good pain. Yeah. Yep. What a cool metaphor.
So, and a lot of people, a lot of the people on this list right now are tattooed. A few of them. Let's see here. Yeah, everybody here. I don't know about him. And I don't say their names out loud.
Sure, that makes sense.
So, I don't know about him. But I think everybody here on the Gumball Head broadcast is tattooed.
Got it.
So over on the personal side, on broadcasting on the phone, I don't know who's all watching on that side of things.
Right.
But I can say a couple of them are tattooed.
Got it.
So hey, look at that. Look at that. The insight timer.
Nice.
That's my meditation reminder.
I like that you do that.
It's time to meditate. So it's 7:00. We got 40 minutes out of this.
Yeah, That's great. Yeah.
Our timer up there.
Kind of flew by.
39 minutes, 15 seconds. Any final thoughts before we...
Well,
anything that you wanted to talk about?
I was going to share. So I do pain control. I don't charge for that. So if people need assistance with pain, chronic pain, it has to be completely and useless and unnecessary, right? So And the thing is, they got to get a doctor to say it's okay for me to work with them because I don't want to deal with those consequences. And then, so like, if I fix your knee, get rid of the pain in your knee that you've had for years, don't go try to be a boxer, right? Don't start doing jujitsu. You got to be smart about it. Usually take it down from like a 9 or a 10 to a 1. So it's still there. I just don't want that person being silly and they go play full court basketball the next day or something.
Sure.
So I don't charge for that. I can only see about 1 or 2 people a week just because I have to keep the lights on.
Yep.
So just, that's another thing. Make your folks aware.
So pain therapy.
Yeah, just kind of getting rid of. It's incredibly bad. Human beings are very good at that. It's incredible how fast folks can get rid of pain, and the stuff I do is incredibly simple. So I learned that from the Joaquin family too. And boy, oh boy, it's beautiful to see people, just release that stuff after having it for years sometimes. So yeah, make them aware of that.
Okay.
That's
pain therapy. Doesn't charge.
Yeah.
Get in touch with him. Go to Kalamazoo Hypnotherapy. You can find him there. Vinnie Brigance. Thanks for coming today.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
No music on the outro tonight because we're using all the USBs for technology, but I'm glad you all stuck around. It's been a while since we've had this many people stick it out this long.
Nice.
A lot of times people log off and then they'll listen to the rest of it on the right.
Yeah, I think so. That makes sense.
So, but 20 minutes they say is you can keep an attention span.
Wow.
An addict is 7 minutes.
Okay.
And loyal viewers is however long we're on camera.
Okay, so you've got some loyal ones. So that's awesome.
So, but yeah, we're typically 7 o'clock is typically when we sign off. Anyways, we're running long. So, thank you guys for coming tonight. Thanks, Vinnie, for coming tonight.
My pleasure. Yeah,
you guys are awesome. This broadcast would not be a necessary thing weekly without the viewers. I do it for you guys just as much as I do it for myself. And as I always say, stay strong, stay focused, stay sober. I love you all. We'll see you next Sunday. Next Sunday is trauma bonding. So it's going to be something interesting. I've been exploring that a little bit too. So trauma bonding, got to check it out on the Facebook page. It's a very weird picture. But it's
I want to check it out.
Very interesting. So I'll see you all next week. And again, thanks for Vinnie coming in. Let us know what you think. Put it in the comments. Let us know what you think. Did you like the dual broadcast? Did you like the co-hosting tonight? If you did, we'll do some more. If you didn't, then I'm a one-man show. So
yeah, I like that.
So, all right, guys. I love you all. We'll see you next week.
Take care, folks. That was fun, man.
So,
Woo!
and we are off.